I was initially an 0351 assaultman. Rest in peace. Unfortunately, they no longer exist. But that's how I got into Charlie Company, ultimately where I met Phil, and then we did our first deployment in 2011, and I ended up getting attached to. So I was as an assaultman. Obviously, Phil was an 0311 like yourself. So weapons company, line companies, when we deployed, they detached everybody from weapons platoon and sent them out into the line platoons. And so I ended up going to Bill's platoon, which is how I became so close with Bill. We ended up being in the same squad. And so we did the whole deployment together, and then ultimately came back, had those down years, and then we were going to deploy again in 2019. And our platoon at the time, so I was back with weapons platoon, and we were just going to do base security, man the post on the base, take care of the stoke lot where all the vehicles came in. And then about a couple months before we deployed, if I'm remembering correctly, we were in Lejeune, and they were breaking off a team to go be the commanding general's security team for the entire Task Force Southwest. And so we had a weapons platoon at the time, the platoon sergeant. He was going to run the team, and so he had gone to kind of fill out his team. He had 6 guys, and so I was filling the role of platoon sergeant for weapons platoon. But prior to that, I was working in DC at a national security think tank, and I was actually working alongside a former commandant, General Gray. And so the platoon sergeant who was running the personal security team said, hey, he needs to be on our team. He deals with generals all the time. He works kind of with these people. He's going to be unfazed by being around people of that rank. And so they were a little hesitant at the time to pull me over because, they had just taken the platoon sergeant and I was going to be his backfill. So now you needed to go find somebody else to run the platoon, which ultimately they did. They found another platoon sergeant to step up, and I went over to the personal security team. And so I did that for the first. We had 2 generals. We had one that was there for about 3 months, and then he rotated out. The second one came in, and so for the first general, I did his advanced security team. So anywhere he went, I went and scouted location first, route, egress, all of that. And then for the second general, I was actually his personal bodyguard. So anywhere he went, I went with him, traveling. And so I got to see both ends of how that team operated, which was super intricate. And that's where I spent a lot of time on that deployment as well with Phil and Chad, because their team was kind of doing some similar stuff for some advisors. So we worked together a lot because the general would often go where the advisors were and vice versa. So that's where I spent a lot of time. And you can't see it, but I've got a picture above my desk here with Phil and Chad and a bunch of the other advisors from his team.